Hello everybody, this is my review of the Currex Cleatpro Dynamic Insole, and this is designed for soccer cleats. And so this is my first time purchasing any type of insole for my cleats, and I'm just really surprised that I haven't done this years ago. I haven't been doing this already. But anyway, I'm happy I found this, and I'll explain why. So first of all, this this insole from Currex is for a medium profile foot, and so what they do is they have a little chart. You can look on the side of the box, but also on their website. You start off by, and this is just to help you figure out what insole to get. And so the first thing is you want to identify your foot, what foot type you have, and what they actually recommended is you do like a foot test where you basically get a blank piece of paper and lightly wet the bottom of your foot, and you step on the piece of paper, and then it will give you an outline. I believe mine was a medium footprint, so I selected that one, and then I moved on to the knee check, where I believe my knees were fairly straight. Actually, I think they went with the 3. I think that's how my knees kind of, I guess they faced inwards a tiny bit. So I chose that. So you got B3, and then basically combine the first step and the second step to get what profile they recommend. And so mine was a B3 medium profile, and so I went with that. I believe I could have also gone with the low profile. However, I do know that my feet need better arch support, and so I decided to go with the medium profile for that reason. Okay. And so right here on the outside of the box kind of shows you the different features. Okay. And so the first thing it kind of highlights is the heel stabilizer. Now the heel stabilizer pretty much is just when you look at the back of the insole, the sides and the back and of the heel portion actually kind of cup it, so keep it in place. And so I think that's really good for shock absorption and just to keep your heel in place. And so I noticed a huge difference because when I looked at my original cleat insole, which is basically a piece of paper, you can see there's a huge difference. Like this, it kind of bends a little bit, but it doesn't. It's not designed to keep my heel in place. Like, I'm just really surprised that I had something like this for so long. So you can see there's a significant difference in the heel support there. Another piece that they highlight is, of course, this little blue pad over here, and what that does is, again, is just extra padding for shock absorption on the heel. Okay, and it actually feels fairly good if you put this on your cleat and start running around with it. You'll notice the difference right away. Now, the other key feature that they like to highlight is actually a super grip anti-slip feature. So you can see on the very top you have these little lines right here, kind of look like joints. But what is it? They're kind of grippy, and so the first time I slipped these on, I found it rather odd that my foot wasn't slipping inside my cleat. Usually I was just used to like slipping just a tiny bit, but in this case it really stayed in place, and actually I kind of struggled a little bit in putting my my shoe on and my foot in because it just wasn't slipping in just really quickly. But anyway, once you got this in, you feel like it'll feel kind of odd because it actually really helps keep your foot in place, and that's something I just wasn't used to. So but after using the shoes for a couple days, just kicking the ball outside my house and all that, it felt my feet felt a lot more planted, which was really good. And again, it was another feature that they highlight on the box is, of course, and I think this is the most important feature, and that is the arch support right here. This is just this plastic piece right in the middle, and this is for a medium arch, and it makes a world of a difference in just how in how my foot feels when I'm using my cleat. And again, this is what I was using before, literally flat as a piece of paper, no padding. Okay, look at that compared to this, and that made a world of a difference. What is it? And so it kind of reminds me of the arch support you get in like an insole from like Roadrunner Sports. But the thing is that this, because I guess you're putting a lot of strain on this, especially if you play soccer competitively. I think they went with like a more plastic, more robust piece in the middle, and so far, like, I really like how this feels against my foot. But anyway, this is that kind of sums it up with all the features. But one thing I do want to mention is that so this actually takes up a little bit extra room in your soccer cleat, and so they do sell like a low profile version. Which I think is just like half of it, and you can slip it in if you'd like, or a slightly like version of the low profile version. But the thing is that because of my arch support, I decided to go with this. Because of my arches, I decided to go with this, and it does take up some space. And so my foot is normally a 9.5, and I wear a 10-foot size cleat. These Nike Tiempos right here. It's a size 10, and the reason why I got them is because they were like just a little bit wider for my feet. And so once I slipped them in, I realized that if I wore these with regular soccer socks, like the thick heavy padding, my foot won't fit. So I'm using this with just regular thin Nike socks, and it's fitting just fine. It fits just comfortably. But I'd highly recommend that you go a size up, or at least half a size up, depending on your foot type, when you're using these insoles. And if you are the type of person to wear like the thick soccer socks, I actually recommend even going maybe a full size up, or 1.5 sizes up, just so your foot can actually fit. Now the thing is, again, that's the drawback, is that it does take some room in here, but the thing is that I think it's worth it because your feet just feel so good after using them. So, but anyway, that is my review of the Currex Cleatpro insole, and again, I highly recommend it. If you are playing soccer, whether it's professionally, was a high school soccer team, or just for fun, I actually highly recommend these because, like I said 3 times before, they make a world of a difference in how your feet feel. And one thing I did notice is that when I used these, my regular insoles for my cleats, I realized that every single time I played, my feet would just feel beat up. It'll take a couple days for my feet to recover, and I just realized is that like the shoe just wasn't designed for my feet. Now the thing is that with this insole here, I feel like it does enhance the cleat a lot better, and in a way could enhance your game. Anyway, that's my review of the Currex Cleatpro. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thank you.